Welcome everyone to oldtacosandgeeks.com. Justin here, back with more video game reviews. Welcome users, welcome programs. We are back in the grid, baby. And today we're going to be talking about TRON Catalyst, which is available now for your PC and console devices. This is a spiritual sequel, or hell, I should say, this is a sequel to the Hell Games TRON Identity visual novel, which came out on the Switch and PC and other console devices. As always, I give you a brief synopsis of the story, talk about the gameplay, the graphics, the music, and give you my final thoughts and rating of the game. So, without further ado, my friends, here we go. Here's the brief synopsis of the story. Tron Catalyst pulls you back into the world of Disney's Tron to battle multiple opposing factions in the latest imaginative story from BitHell Games. Tron Catalyst is a all-new story driven isometric adventure game set in the immersive and diverse locations of the Arq Grid introduced in Tron Identity. You play as EXO, a highly resilient and resourceful program wielding a unexpected power known as the glitch, gaining strength and abilities which the overlords of the Arq Grid's crumbling society seek to bring under control. You'll ride the light cycle, engage in identity disc combat, and more as you're relentlessly pursued through the city and beyond by Khan, a malevolent program with an agenda of his own, while uncovering more about the glitches that threaten the stability of the grid. And that's pretty much the overview of the story. Like I said, you play as EXO, and EXO is basically kind of like this carrier, program carrier. And what happens here, I'll just give you a quick setup of it. So there, EXO gains her strength by an explosion caused by something called the glitch catalyst. And from there, you're on the run from a corrupt system and trying to figure out who framed you and why. And that's pretty much the gist of it. I think what really works about this particular story is one, I did enjoy Tron Identity. I thought it was pretty decent. But I like this one a little bit more because we get to explore the grid ourselves. We get to interact with other characters. We get to see what the grid is. It's really showing and adding more layers to the Tron mythos, and I really do respect it for it. Exo's a really good character. I really enjoyed what I seen here, especially with this malevolent force, which I won't get into. But to keep it very vague, I will say that the story was serviceable. It honestly could have been a cool 1 hour special of Tron Uprising, but I thought they did a serviceable job with this particular story. Now, let's talk a little bit about the gameplay. So, the gameplay consists of running through sleek digital environments, and there's sometimes some platforming challenges. You're fighting waves of enemies with your identity disc, and you're escaping on your light cycle. At first, the combat is fun. You're throwing your disc around, you're dodging attacks, you're countering enemies, and it does feel smooth. Combat has no real kind of issues, but there are little minor tweaks here and there that could have been done here. But after a while, my biggest problem is the battles get to feel dreaded repetitive. And there isn't a lot of enemy variety either, which is another problem. And the game doesn't evolve its combat system in a meaningful way as you progress. The light cycle segments, while fast and cool looking, are also fairly linear. And you do get that rush of first couple of times, but after that, you're left wishing if this were longer and more open ended. The most unique feature, however, in the game is the time loop mechanic. After you gain your powers and you had the ability to rewind to earlier moments and try things differently, like fixing a mistake or choosing a new path. Hell, even I would say probably after an hour, you get to the point where you have to get into a certain club, and there are various ways you can just go in, or you can rewind where the bad guys don't notice you anymore, and everything that you did prior it gets kind of reset, and you can just go into the club unscathed and no one's really knowing who you are. But that feature is cool, but I just wish they had a little bit more to do with the time loop mechanic. It doesn't really shake up the game as much as it should have. it's a feature that feels like it was introduced with some major big plans, but it felt like it wasn't fully developed with the concept, and that's probably the most disappointing part of it. It is the most fun part of the game besides the light cycles and just really interacting with the characters and the story. But I just wish there was a little bit more to it than sometimes just, oh, okay, man, just let me go back and do try it a different way. But I do like where the game was trying to do and where it was setting up. It's not a bad game at all. It is serviceable, especially for a Tron game. I will say that the fans are going to like the gameplay. They're going to like the story. I just wish that there was just a little bit more to the whole glitch time loop mechanic here. We've played time loop games before, so to see what they did with this in the Tron, especially Tron universe, screams glitches and time loops and things like that. So I like what they were building here. I just wish there was just a little bit more to it. Now, let's talk about the graphics here because this is where the game truly shines. And it's not trust me, it's not like, oh my god, this is the most mind-blowing graphics. What I really love about the graphics in this game is its faithful representation of the Tron Legacy universe and the Tron universe in total. You have those dark cityscapes, the glowing blue neon and orange lines and the lights, and just this towering digital structures. It's really a nice visual feat, especially with the isometric camera view here. You get to see a little bit more that as opposed to a more close up standard third person perspective. So you do get to see a little bit more of that wide shots of what the grid looks like compared to something like you will see in Tron Evolution. That doesn't mean that I prefer this over the Tron Evolution. This is just saying that I thought the graphics did a really good job of capturing the essence of the world that was built in Tron Legacy, Tron Identity, Tron Uprising. It keeps that same tone and feel. Me, I played on my PC, so I didn't really have any stuttering issues, any clippings, or things of that nature. I didn't have any real graphical concerns with it. I do have a pretty decent gaming laptop PC, so it can run almost everything. So I didn't really have any hiccups in terms of that. As far as the music goes, I will have to say, music pretty damn good. It's not a Daft Punk soundtrack, but you can see that it tried to keep the same tone and feel of the Tron Legacy soundtrack which Tron is now kind of been synonymous with now is that electric tempo type of style of music. And it pulses and it hums with a sense of urgency, adding to that sci-fi atmosphere that is not overbearing. It's very serviceable. And there is one track that does sound very similar to Derez, and another track that sounds very similar to End of the Line. So I thought it did a really good job of that. Now, in terms of my final rating, let's just say this. Tron Catalyst is a good game, especially for fans of the Tron movies. If you're a fan of this universe, I think you should pick this up. And that is the rating I'm going to give it, folks. And this might be a little bit biased because I'm just a Tron guy. I love Tron. So I'm going to give this a buy it. It looks good, it feels good, it sounds good, and it did introduce some cool ideas. But when it comes to the gameplay, it played it a little bit too safe. Story is a little bit too safe, but still enjoyable. The combat does lack long-term depth, and the time loop mechanic doesn't reach its full potential. Still, that being said, what they were able to do with this and expand what's going on during the Tron Identity timeline, I say it's still a worthy trip. And if you're a Tron fan, this might be something you want to pick up. This is Justin from oldtacosandgeeks.com. What did you think of Tron Catalyst? Comment below. Let me know. If you like what we do here, hopefully we earned your subscription. So please, my friends, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell to be updated. You can check out the channel, but most importantly, visit oldtacosandgeeks.com. There's a lot of written reviews there of things that we do not post here on the channel. If you are a Barbie collector, you can check out our new review of the Barbie She-Ra, the Barbie signature She-Ra Masters of the Universe. So you can check that out on our website and check out our continual coverage of Tribeca Film Festival. Got some interviews there. Got some movie reviews there. I didn't feel content here for the channel. So thank you for all your support, my friends. Later days, peace, love, and happiness to you all. I'll catch you on the next one.